What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope you guys enjoyed last video. Finally got the freaking car started. Super stoked on that. Now we only have a few things left that we got to do. So on our list here, majority of everything is checked off. So we got to put in the new fuel pump, because during my troubleshooting steps trying to get it to run right, we noticed that the sock for the pump was destroyed. So I have a new pump, we're gonna put that in. We got to wire in the gauges for the AFR and the boost gauge, and then not sure about this, we got to test drive it first. I got a new thermostat I want to put in because I was having a hard time bleeding the clutch, I had a hard time bleeding the cooling system, so I got an OEM thermostat. Just gonna put that in. We got to bleed the brakes, bleed the hydro, make a bracket for the intake. So, not a lot of stuff to do, but a decent amount. So let's just jump right into it. I think I'm gonna tackle the thermostat first, and then we're gonna go from there. Clean up all of the mating surfaces on that, slap the new one in, be good to go. We got the pump assembly out, got the pump off the assembly. I'm gonna go ahead and wire up the new wiring harness for the connector. It's just a two-way, so technically it doesn't really matter which way this goes. But you know, for purpose, black to black, color to color. This wire is just red or blue. The old one was red. Your power wire, ground wire. So I got the DW200, it's a 255. So we got to put this on. Came with new hose and clamps and a sock. So it's going to throw that on. This is the main reason why we're replacing it, because this thing is hit. So when I was trying to figure out why the thing wasn't running right, I pulled the pump out, and I was going to originally do the pump anyways, because I wasn't sure if this pump that's in it was E85 compatible, but I know for a fact that the DW one is. I just wanted to not have to burn up a pump if it's not capable of running E85, and we'll just knock this out and be done with it and don't have to worry about it until we make maybe more power later down the line and have to put a bigger pump in it. But this will be plenty for what we're doing right now. So let's just I'll put you guys in a time lapse and let's get this thing wired up, installed, and then we can move on to the next thing. All right, we got the fuel pump all in. Everything is tight. Looking good. Now, time to throw it back in. So I got the fuel pump in, as you just saw, but I got one issue. Whoever put this fuel pump in last, they must have replaced the fuel lines, and they put the pump in the wrong location, and now the lines aren't long enough to get to the fittings on the head. So these gotta go here, and they will not. So I have the pump and everything in the right location now. So I'm gonna pick up some fuel line tomorrow and we'll button that up. But right now, we're gonna jump in and I'm gonna start plumbing up everything for the boost gauge. So I got everything laid out here. This is your boost solenoid that the wire will go to. We have to feed this through the car. We have to put in our filter and our T to go to plumb the line to the intake manifold or some type of vacuum source. I'm gonna go right to the intake manifold, and so let's get that going and check that off the list too. So conveniently, I have the fuel pressure regulator fitting down here that I'm gonna tee off of for the boost gauge. So I'm just gonna go right here, and then we can put the solenoid and all that in this area, and then we'll just run the wire through down here where I ran all of the rest of the wires for the coolant sensor and stuff like that. So, and the oil pressure sensor. So these are all Pro Sport gauges that I got for this, so I can just daisy chain from the other two that are already in the car. So that'll be super easy. Don't have to go back through and find power and key on source. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory. I'm just gonna bust this out and then I'll update you guys in a little bit. All right, well, I just fought with this shit for the longest freaking time, but I had to take this vent out because if we go over here, I got these little inserts that will hold a gauge from brake bead. You just put that in that hole and it freaking sits right in there. Nice and perfect, holds the gauge. Super clean look. So we're gonna be putting these in. So I got the wires ran and we'll be putting in the boost gauge, and then the AFR gauge is gonna go here, right in the instrument bezel where that vent goes. So it's just a little two-piece, and they just pop together. This is a delete plate, so just as far as I'm concerned, should just slip right in. Oh, decent. Nice. I dig that. Oh yeah. All right, so if you can see, there's a little groove cut out right here on both sides, and then there's a lip on the bottom. Tuck the lip in the bottom, and then you can press in here and it will sit right in place and it doesn't go anywhere. It's a really nice snug fit, so that's pretty freaking sweet. I'm stoked on that. So let's get all of this back together. Boom. Just like so. So actually didn't quite work out how I wanted. I had to move the coolant gauge right here because the AM X Series doesn't have a backing to it like a regular gauge does. So that one I had to make a bracket for, but honestly, I kind of like it over there because that one's going to be busy. And this one is right in my field of view. And we can always monitor temps right there. Even with the steering wheel on, you still got a pretty good view of the gauge. So like, pretty stoked on that. So yeah, I mean, all in all, I'm pretty happy with how all this is turning out. Finally don't have an open hole over here anymore, so that's freaking sick. But I got the fuel lines for the fuel pump, so I'm gonna throw those on real quick, and then we can finally put some coolant in this thing and hopefully completely bleed it out. And then we just got to do a couple other things, and then we can take it for a freaking test drive. So we're getting really close. I'm ready. I want to drive this thing so bad. So let's go get those fuel lines busted out. Let's get some water in this thing, get it up to temp, and go from there. So yeah. All right, so here, I was having the hardest time trying to get this thing in time. I'm doing the timing procedure correctly. Distributor just keeps on jumping and moving around. So I have a spare engine, and you can tell from the rotor cap on my engine that's in the car has a lot of play in it. And then I go over to the other engine on the ground, and that one has no play in it. So what I did is I pulled that one out of the engine on the ground, put that distributor in, and it helped a little bit. But still, we're still trying to fight, trying to find 20 degrees. I finally found it, but the distributor is all the way maxed out. I verified that I'm at top dead center, and the rotor is facing #1 spark plug port on the cap for the wire. So it's just been a process of elimination with this thing, and now you can tell that the car still isn't running great, still really lean. I can figure that out. So I'm not really sure, but process elimination has been a headache. Alright guys, so I got the car all back together, got the fuel lines in, got water in it. Freaking pain in the ass to plumb the cooling system. If you know and you have a KA and you drain your coolant and you try and bleed your KA, it never works out the first time. So that was a headache in itself. I didn't film anything doing that just because I was getting frustrated and I just needed the thing to bleed, and finally got that to go. We got all the gauges wired in and stuff, and as the cooling system was bleeding, I was watching the AFR gauges, and it was just running super lean. So that's where kind of this video ends, because I got so in tune and involved in trying to figure out what was going on with this car that I didn't even pick up the camera at all. So I have some clips of me driving it around, testing out some things, and this is what you're watching right now. So me and my dad went and took it around the yard, did a couple small little first, second gear pulls in front of the shop, and as you can see, in boost we're like at 15, 16, you know, AFR, and where it should be around 11, low 11s. So not good. I went through and replaced pretty much everything, tried multiple different MAF sensors, multiple different O2 sensors. I've been on the phone and talking to people and back and forth with the tuner that tuned the ECU, and still have yet to figure out why the thing is running so lean. Tried a couple different things and it still helped a little bit, but not really. So this is kind of where we're at, and yeah, not great. All right, so this last little clip here, I actually take it down the road and had Megan hold the camera in front of the AFR gauge to see what it was reading. Actually going for a decent drive, and still really lean. And then during this little road trip, find that the clutch is slipping like really bad. So after that, I was like, all right, well, let's not drive it anymore. And we have an event that's coming up like now, when I was filming all this, and I was trying to get the car ready for that. So spent the whole night on Saturday and took the trans out by myself and threw a clutch in it and got it all back together, just to find out that it's not gonna work regardless, because the engine is just running way too lean and there's just no hope for me making this event. So a last minute thing, and it didn't work out. But we're gonna hit the drawing board again, and hopefully we figure out what's going on. And yeah, I'm pretty bummed on how this is all going. I figured it was just gonna be a plug and play type of scenario and we'd be out drifting with the boys. Pretty sad that I didn't get to make the first event, but this is cars and this is just how it goes. So we got some things to figure out, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll get it figured out, and we'll go and get some actual good rips in it and be on the track soon enough. So hope you guys like this video, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.